Hey everyone, it's Robert and you're watching Sidestep Adventures, and today I have returned to the cemetery that was destroyed by logging, which is right over here. I wanted to come back out here for a couple of reasons. I wanted to look around to see if I saw any more graves, and also wanted to tell you guys something that's super interesting that I found out about this place. So let me go ahead and get started walking around and I'll talk to you while I do it. All right guys, so again, a big shout out to my subscribers. You guys are awesome with the research that you do. So this cemetery has a few more graves in it that are not marked, that people that are supposed to be buried here. I say they're not marked. There were no pictures of the stones on Find a Grave, because if you do go to Find a Grave for this cemetery, it was not destroyed a couple years ago. This damage is super recent. You can see the old gated entrance to the cemetery there that's knocked over. But this damage was super recent, so it's kind of heartbreaking to go and see what it used to look like not that long ago before it was destroyed. So we'll walk over here where the marked graves are, and this cemetery has two different names. It's called the Chambliss-Tatum Cemetery, but also the Cleveland Cemetery. And also down this dirt road, which y'all saw some brief glimpses of in the other video and are probably going to see more today, there's supposed to be 3 other cemeteries down this road. I want to see if we can find them. But about this cemetery, there's of course MD Tatum over here. And according to Find a Grave, allegedly his wife, Sarah L. Chambliss, is said to be buried near him here, but it's unknown if she is for sure. I believe I read she died in the 1930s. I could be wrong about that. Someone on Find a Grave requested a picture of her headstone, and of course I don't see any other headstones here. But also buried out here, super interesting, is a fellow named Jephthah Columbus Chambliss and his wife Sarah Ann, and they're supposed to be buried somewhere out here too, and they were actually, I believe, buried earlier than the Tatum family was over there. But what's super interesting about that is, if you remember another video of mine titled One Lone Tombstone in This Cemetery, or something like that, it was the Jephthah Chambliss Cemetery. Now that was out in Talbot County, Georgia, and of course we're in Stewart County, Georgia today. And so I think it's super coincidental that we ran across 2 of these cemeteries just totally accidentally, and they're actually related, because the Jephthah Chambliss that's buried in this cemetery is the son of Jephthah Chambliss in the Talbot County One Lone Tombstone Cemetery. And so that's super interesting history right there. And I think it's super interesting how we just stumbled upon these 2 graves, or these two cemeteries that happen to be connected. So actually I do see another grave over here. I didn't notice this before because of the brush over it, but I don't know if you guys can tell on video, but there is a clear indention right there that's grave sized. So this could be that could be actually where MD Tatum's wife, I believe her name was Sarah as well, that could be where she's buried, or this could be where Jephthah Chambliss was buried. All right, so we've got one other grave that we found out here, and I just kind of wanted to scan around and take my time and look and see if I saw any more, but I don't. Of course, this was quite a large area that was gated off. You can see where the fence was actually dragged all the way over here. It should have gone from there over. So what they did is, obviously they just pushed the fence out of the way here so they could get in here and cut down these trees. And that's terrible. It really is. And it looks like the fence was just run over here. So I'm assuming that the Chambliss and Tatum families were both buried within this fenced-in area. And I guess these were the only ones with markers, because again, even in the pictures on Find a Grave from before the cemetery was destroyed, there were no other pictures of any other headstones. So the other people, Jephthah, Sarah, Jephthah's wife, and Sarah, M.D. Tatum's wife, they were evidently buried in unmarked graves. And I'm pretty sure this was probably well, this was definitely a family plot here, a little family cemetery. And so this was probably family land back then. And they could have even had a house somewhere near here. But I just wanted to walk over here a little ways and kind of scan the land. I don't immediately see any more stones, but it would also be kind of hard to see unless they were knocked over. Out here you can just kind of see how the land was ravaged by logging. It looks like that may have been there's an old hardwood tree there, not a pine tree. And guys, you know, I really, really hate to see this cemetery destroyed like this. I mean, I do not know what someone was thinking when they came in and they knocked that gate over. And, you know, since I've done a little bit more research on this place, it was definitely just destroyed here recently, and it wasn't, you know, something that was done by nature. I mean, you can tell with the way the fence is pulled all the way back, and that is just so terrible. I'm gonna drive on down this dirt road a little bit further, see if we can't find, there's supposed to be 4 cemeteries on this road. This is one of them. There's supposed to be another 3. Hopefully they didn't get destroyed like this one did. And, you know, I mean, look at this. You know, this wood was just kind of piled up there. And again, the fence should have gone. I know I'm repeating myself, but this just really bothers me. With the very clear intentional, I feel like it's intentional, because, you know, you don't see a fence in the woods like that and, you know, just run it over. I mean, even if there's a lot of dense trees, you're gonna see the fence. All right guys, well, I don't see anything else here, but I did want to return here, tell you that other information I found out, and just take another look at this place. I have let some people know that I know down here in Stewart County about the destruction at this cemetery. I'm gonna get back on the road now and up this dirt road and see if I can find the other 3 cemeteries that are supposed to be down this road, or anything else that's interesting. And so I'll see you guys on the next video.